ating mga awarded. Again, congratulations. So as I mentioned, I have here some questions for us to know our awardees better. So, but before that, for our media friends and science communicators present today, if you have questions for our guests, you may write your questions in an available clean paper with your name, and then your agency or institution, and of course, your question, okay? And same also for those who are in Zoom meeting, please type your questions in the chat box together with your name and then your institution. And yeah. So, ito po ay paunahan. So, sorry na lang sa hindi ma-entertain, ha? So, yeah, better to ask your questions if you want. And after reading those questions to our guests, we will let you ask your follow-up questions personally. So, yeah, that's the time you open you come and then ask the person. Or, yeah, if you are here, yeah, ask the person. So, here are, I think, here are my questions. Okay, be prepared. I think, si Juan yung aking unay ng aking paboritong professor. Dr. Obliminda. Si Doc, how can you further contribute to the improvement of your respective field and the society in general? So, yeah, this is yung research here is more environmental, right, ma'am? So, yeah, I think Doc Obliminda will be is here and the expert in this field. I really admire her.
Maraming salamat. Thank you, Ryan. So my work, first and foremost, is about air quality. So air quality is something that is overlooked pretty much because I consider it like a hidden disaster because it's something we don't normally see immediately. And it's a shared reality among us. Every day we wake up and we don't realize the level of pollution that we are actually breathing day in and day out. And so that's my field of area of my study. And at the Manila Observatory, we've been monitoring particulate pollution since year 2000. I was not yet a member of MO back then, but those who came before me already started doing that. And we have high levels of PM 2.5. And the sad thing is, 7 million people globally die of air pollution, of poor air quality. So that's a global number that's provided by the World Health Organization. So in fact, that's a yearly number. So it's larger. If you think about it, it's actually larger than the mortality that's associated with the pandemic. Okay, so if you think about it, it should be something that we should consider as an emergency problem, right? Okay, but we don't seem to have that kind of anxiety that we did have during the pandemic. And so here I am, and that's my field. And so my advocacy really is we need to measure. We need to really measure, okay, all over Metro Manila and all over our country. And because it's very difficult to control or mitigate something that we don't know how much it is. So we need to measure something we don't know. It's very difficult to control it or mitigate it if we don't measure. So parang paano mo nalalaman na nababawasan ka ng timbang habang nagda-diet ka kung hindi ka nagtitimbang? Parang gano'n. Okay, so we need, that's the analogy. So if we're gonna apply any policy, we need to have measurements in order for us to determine if our policies are actually working. So that's one of the things that I've been, our research group is advocating for.
Wow,
Salamat.
that is very timely. Nowadays, we need this research from Dr. Obliminda for us to be more educated about the quality of air we have. So yeah, we have here in front of us the best we have in the country. And maybe I could also ask, the same question to Dr. Pia. Dr. Pia.
Thank you. So before I answer your question, I'd like to introduce my work. So just to put it simply, what I do is we create diagnostic tools for cancer. Maybe some of you are not aware that pathologists would have discordant readings. Okay, so when you get diagnosed, for instance, there are some instances wherein a pathologist may say, okay, this is benign, your tumor is benign, but the other pathologist will say, actually it's already malignant. So what I am creating with my team is a diagnostic tool to help pathologists determine whether this tumor is really malignant or benign, and we can give the probability of how malignant it is. And that is through the use of through the application of artificial intelligence, AI, intelligence, and that's tools, AI. And we were also promoting the use of FTIR spectroscopy instead of the usual visual examination. That is the gold standard. Pathologists diagnose cancer through examination of state tissues. That's not what we are promoting. Instead, we are promoting FTIR spectroscopy because it can detect malignancy at the biomolecular level, which means that we can detect malignancy long before any morphological, physical changes are evident. So that's what we are promoting. What makes our research why are we promoting this? This is because we base, or our tools are based on tissues, or we use Filipino specimens. I mean, specimens from Filipino patients. So there are already commercially available tools abroad, but the thing is, if we use these diagnostic tools from let's say US or Europe, these were tested using their population. It may not be applicable on a Filipino population. That's why we're pushing for this, and to make it cheaper also for the Filipino patients. So that's what I am working on. So how do I contribute further? So I want to mentor more students, graduate and undergraduate students, to add to the pool of experts that we have in the Philippines. When I started with my work, there were only few doing this molecular diagnostics. Karamihan na sa basic. I was trained on the applied sciences. So what I want is, I encourage students to, let's say, go train abroad, but please come back to the Philippines. We need you. Diba?
Yes. So, yeah.